All the productivity bloggers are selling you this idea that you can change your life pretty quickly, but majority of them, they're just leaving you with this question, if it is actually possible. Recently, I read this book, 12-Week Year, and I want to make my own review, even though many other people, they already done this, but I want to share from my own perspective and how it started changing my own life. And I want to share with you some tips and ideas that I learned from this book. And the first lesson, and maybe the most important, is the sense of urgency. Without a sense of urgency, you would have this idea that you always have tomorrow. One day, you might not have. And by not having this idea that you have to do it now, do it quickly, do it today, you may end up with a lot of regrets and wasted potential. And I guess that's very not you willing to be. And on the 1st of January, we're all setting the goals that in the end of the year, we're imagining that we're going to be stronger, smarter, better at any field, at any rate, and etc. And in reality, we all end up sticking to our routine for week, 2, maybe 3, but then they think that they have some free time and they could rest because they have whole year, right? Not really. And because this idea that we have plenty of time, for example, today is already July and it's only half of a year before 2025, based on the moment when I record this video. And I have a question for you. Have you achieved half of your goals? You probably have. But the person that sits next to you probably hasn't. That's the point. But don't get me wrong. Life is not only about success, money, your career, and etc. It's also about the experiences that you have. But for all of that, you have to have periodization. And what I actually mean by that, we all have different stages in life. We could have season of learning or earning. And based on that, we could act differently. Or maybe we would want to spend more time on ourselves and with our loved ones. So the next season, we could focus on our hobbies and improving relationship with our family or a partner. And for example, if you want to improve your relationship with your family, you could have a dinner with them once a week for 12 weeks in a row. And imagine how much better would it be. So the question is how to actually use this sense of urgency for your benefits and not to have a lot of anxiety or stress and etc. by creating those mini years, aka 12-week year. That's how you're going to do it. But how exactly? You have to start with writing down your 12-week year goals and start executing it. And by living life of 12-week year, you would have this sense of urgency, but you would still have enough of time to accomplish your goals. And now I want to give you some advice and tips how to execute better. I think that this way will be a little easier for me, so we keep going. First tip, set clear and specific goals. Define what you want to achieve in the next 12-week year. Make your goals specific and very easy to measure. By saying that, I mean that you have to quantify and qualify what success looks like. Measure and measurable. And this actually makes a lot of sense. For instance, I'm making this video and actually I'm not expecting to have it even any views. Even though I'm doing my best, I'm going to try to edit it well, do a great thumbnail, and share it to my friends, and they may not want to see it, and that's okay. I would measure that I wrote a script, I read this book, I record the video. That's actually the first videos that I'm recording ever. So the conclusion is, instead of saying that I got no views, I would say that I did all of the work, and that's what matters. So instead of focusing what you cannot control is the outcome, you should focus on what you put in. How many hours did you study? How many videos did you make? How many people you reached out? And etc. Just measure. Especially in the beginning of your journey when you're doing something new, or you're learning a new skill, or you're trying to create content, for instance, like I do. And now I want to talk about to make your goals more specific. And so because of that, you can't just say, I want to be rich or I want to be fit. Because what is rich? What is fit? So it would be more accurate to say, I want to lose 20 pounds of fat, or I want to earn, for example, 3,000 per month. Or if you're a skinny person like me, you want to bulk some mass, which I'm struggling with. But that's going to be for the next 12 year, because on this 12 year, I'm focusing to become a content creator. So that's what I'm doing right now. When you start something new, it looks approximately like this. At first, you have uninformed optimism. You start something new, you're very happy, you're thinking that all of the bloggers making zillions of money and your first video will literally blow up and etc. Or you would You would create a portfolio as a designer and you would reach out to other people and they would say yes and they would pay you zillions of money. In reality, they don't. And then you go down and down and down until you end up in valley of despair. And that's where most people quit. I would say 95% because they think that it's way, way harder than they thought and the payoff is way less. When you feel the shittiest, you have to push even harder because otherwise you will just start a new thing, then go down again, you will come back again to the top and then down. And you wouldn't be able to make any progress. And you would just have zillion experience. I mean, not zillion experience, you would just like have a little experience in zillions of other fields. If you have not succeeded in what you're doing right now, there is no point to quit because now you literally are in the valley of despair. And by understanding that, you have a better chance to succeed. Just keep pushing. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is to embrace accountability and make a commitment. You may have heard that nobody really cares about you, nobody's going to save you. You hear it probably all the time, but not a lot of people take it serious. I want to encourage you to take action today and start your 12-week year. Set the goal and just begin. And for those who watched this moment, I have a great tip. To increase your chance of success, you can have a deal with your friend. Tell him about your goal, say what you have to do, and say the deadline. Yes, you have to have a deadline, otherwise you wouldn't be able to make it happen. And if you don't accomplish the goal, you can say that you owe him $100. And you don't have to ask anything back from the friend. You just need to ask him about to make a deal with you. This way you will be able to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal. And as you can guess, I did the same.